What's up?
What up?
Nothing, just
Sucking a dick? Is that? Oh, it's fucking.
it's a Pikachu versus Geodude.
Oh, why are you fagging it up with that?
All this talk of Pokemon Go has made me really want to start playing Pokemon again, and instead of playing that game, I decided to bust out the original classic. That's incredible. Um,
Oh yeah,
I'm having a
I
good
saw.
time.
I saw this thing that said, "Why can't there just be a Pokemon Go where you don't have to go anywhere and you can just sit down and play?" It's like, my God, somebody has never played Pokemon before in their entire life.
Yeah,
To make that statement.
it's quite possible.
Yeah.
All right, so how was the gym? How was your fake workout? Did you sit in the back and watch the cool kids?
I just stared creepily in the corner, looking at all the dudes and chicks with super awesome bodies that I wish I had.
I mean, cut out the chicks and you got
Oh
it.
yeah, of course, of course. Oh, I didn't want to make it sound too gay though,
So this is our first episode in a long time.
dude. Has been,
I've been
man.
feeling we're gonna knock a lot out because you're coming down 2 weekends from now, and then the next week after that for the concert, right?
Yeah, that's kind of why I haven't been fretting this at all because we're
Yeah,
gonna do
I've
it.
just been so busy. Like I have a wedding to shoot like almost every other weekend. Like every day is just like jam packed full of shit. I got like birthdays and uh, fucking people to see. It'd be cool if you came in town this Friday because like Eric, Travis, Clayton, AK, Tara and Andrew, Matt. Well, having a shit ton of people over.
I don't want to see those fags. No, I'm just playing.
I don't.
Uh,
I don't blame.
actually, it would be cool to see them all. They're pretty cool guys.
You. Yeah, and girls.
No,
Hang on a
just
second.
guys.
I
Just
gotta.
guys.
Hang on. I gotta beat this Onyx real quick. I got my squirter though. Gonna do water pulse, and I've only been playing this for like half an hour, and I'm already level 26. I only caught a Mankey, which is something that is a must. A Squirtle, my starter, and a Pikachu, and that's. I think I'm going to try to catch a Cubone, and it forces me to get Lapras, but I think I'm going to try to beat it with just them.
Did you get a coughing that evolves into wheezing?
Yeah, but that's actually what it does,
The only
though.
reason why I know that is because
The
of the
joke from
podcast.
Maddox, yeah, is that he said coughing turns into a haunter or something, and and the last like 3 weeks has just gotten comments about how wrong he was. Like
I know.
he's never gotten comments for anything more in his life.
Like coughing, wheezing.
Oh, did you know? Wasn't that funny though? Like the reason he brought that up because they were talking about how people were doing like I guess Poke stops or Poke lures or something in that
Yeah,
Pokemon Go
people were
game, and they were going to like the fucking Holocaust Museum and dropping fucking coughings everywhere.
No.
That's amazing. Uh,
My God, people are so fucked up.
that's a nice sense of humor. So,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great, but
all right, so
that's really funny.
I'm done. I beat this fucking bug catcher. Fuck this dude. Oh, my name is Bitch, and Dickhead is my rival's name in the game.
Oh,
You guys gotta
okay.
class it up. I remember the first time I played Final Fantasy VII, I was like, you can name your own characters, huh? Everybody was like, fag, bitch. And then, like, halfway through the game, I'm like, I have no idea who any of these characters are anymore.
That's funny.
I
Yeah.
regret it. That's the
Oh,
only time
man.
I've ever named my Final Fantasy characters.
Oh, really? I always name Cloud like me, obviously. You know?
Shawn? Shawn?
Yeah. But he looks like nothing like me, so.
That's conceited.
It is, but you always want to be the hero. And the hero will drown.
So in the smoke.
Yeah.
So, so it's fucking the end of summer movie season.
Dude, you need to go see Sausage Party.
I mean, we can talk about it. I don't think it's a movie
No,
with
you haven't seen
spoilers,
it.
or do I have to see it first before we talk about it?
No, you need to go see it.
All right.
Because it's, I rated a 4 out of 5.
Really?
Yeah.
I think if we are gonna like rate the movies that we talk about, 5. I think because it's too small of a scale. Like there's like because like you judge like drama as something different than I judge a comedy than something I would judge an action movie.
I
So I
agree.
feel like we should either do like grading system like A, B, C, or D or F,
But that's still like
or
five
we could
stars
just
an A,
rate them out of 100.
5 stars an A, like 4 stars a B. It's still the same thing.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, or we could just rate them out of 100.
Yeah, we could do that, but then we'd have to like get like a
32.4. I'm just
score.
playing.
We'd have to
Like,
have like a scorecard and have
yeah,
like
like for instance, like John Wick would be like an 85 out of 100. Like that's still really good, but it's not like perfect or flawless. And then like Interstellar would be like a 15 out of 100 because it was a
yeah.
movie and they filmed it and put it to film, and that deserves at least 15 points out of 100. It lost everything because they did it M. Night Shyamalan twist. Aha! I was the dad behind the bookshelf the whole time. Like
Yeah.
I don't need twist. I don't need twist in my movies.
Yeah, that's
Aha,
that's
Alfred! I didn't really die. I was in England hanging out with Catwoman the whole time. Like I don't understand what Christopher Nolan's doing. His new World War II movie looks cool, but it better not have some crazy twist. Like aha, this was actually the Civil War the whole time. Like I don't need any kind of twist from him anymore. Did you see the preview for his World War
no.
II movie? For us, it played in front of Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah, it did play in front of.
It was a really boring trailer where it didn't really show much, and it had like no noise, just like ambient, or it had no music, just ambient noise and like clock ticking, and it showed them all on like a boat, and I guess like you heard an airplane coming, and they all looked like, oh, we're fucked. I
Okay.
can't even pronounce the title of it. I've watched a shit ton of movies since I last talked to you, though.
Oh man,
Seen
well we've
Jungle
watched
Book?
like
One of
we've
the most-
watched the opposite. We've watched opposite movies. Like that's the problem.
Yeah, well, you need to watch Jungle Book. That movie's fucking flawless.
But Zach
Except
and
for
Cole-
that he doesn't scratch his back. I love my Facebook posts. I'm like, perfect voice casting, perfect action, perfect comedy, perfect everything, but Blue never once scratches his back on a post, so 0 out
Oh,
of 5.
does the monkey ever sing "I Want to Be Like You"?
He does. It's Christopher Walken. It's just so glorious. He's huge. He's fucking dangerous too. Like he's fucking mean. He tries to grab Mowgli, tries to eat him.
Okay, well if Christopher Walken is singing "I Want to Be Like You," he's like, does he sing "I Want to Walk Like You"? I want to talk
Yeah,
like.
he sings the whole song. And
No.
it's pretty fucking cool. And then Blue and Bagheera come to save him, and they have to fight off a bunch of monkeys. And like it's a perfect mixture of like badass action and then comedy, because like it'll be badass where Blue will like fucking bear down, and he actually becomes like a bear with like a badass like mean face and smacking all these monkeys, and they're like, oh man, those monkeys are dead. And then like he'll do something comical, like he'll be like, all right, enough's enough, and he'll like let out this awesome like bear war, and then like the monkeys will just jump on him. He'll be like, oh shit. Like I don't know, it's fucking awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Look like you.
I think you'll think, especially Shere Khan is super badass. Like he does some fucking super cool shit. Like they like stray from the book a lot. Like there was so yeah, like so in like the original story in the fucking Disney movie, Mowgli whatever is raised by the wolves, and then like when Shere Khan's like, I'm gonna kill him, like he tries to go back to the man village. Well, in this book, or sorry, in this movie, Shere Khan blames the wolves because like they're like, oh, Mowgli's gone, like you don't have to worry about him anymore. He's like, but you knew that I wanted him dead, and you guys just like let him leave. So he like walks up to like the wolf pack leader and just like bites him and just like tosses him off a cliff, and he's just like, I'm gonna stay here now until he comes back to save you guys. And he's like fucking with everyone, like fucking pawing with all like the cubs. He's like, I could so easily kill these cubs. And he's just such an asshole.
Why don't wolves like team up and just fucking take him out?
At the end of the movie, it's a bunch of wolves, Bagheera and Blue all fight, but like he's massive and he's just fucking vicious. Like he like destroys everybody. Like it's pretty fucking cool.
Alright. But he's just a tiger. Like
It just, I mean,
I'm just
honestly,
playing.
I fucking
know the tiger's
Googled,
like
and it's funny because I know everyone else thought the same thing when the first, movie, when the first, preview dropped. I'm like, well, if this is realistic, Blue could fuck him up. So I Googled, can a tiger and like an autofill fight a bear? And so I guess like everyone else searched it too. And yeah, apparently like in real life, a tiger can fuck up a bear.
Oh yeah,
I
for
didn't
sure.
know that. I thought a bear could have it. And
No,
the thing that pissed me
no.
off in the
Tiger's
movie
way
is
faster.
that so Blue goes to fight first, and like he puts up the most fight, but he gets his ass kicked pretty bad, and they all just sit there and watch. And then the wolves and Bagheera jump in all at once. I'm like, man, if you guys all would have jumped in at once, you maybe could have had him. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, I totally thought that. Like, I'm like, oh, why don't the wolves just get him? But then seeing how easy he just grabbed that one wolf and killed him and tossed him to the side, I'm like, yeah, those wolves are kind of fucked. They might as well just. It's a good movie though.
So did Mowgli use the power of man's red
He
flower?
did, and it was badass. He
Yeah.
burnt on the forest in doing so too, which is funny because all the animals were pissed at him. They're just like, cause he fucking like runs up with the fire. He's like, all right, cause like all the animals are like really fucking scared of Shere Khan, and he's just like, nobody has to be afraid of you anymore, Shere Khan. And like Shere Khan's like, I don't think they're afraid of me anymore. And he looks around, and the forest is like up in flames, and like all the animals are like, oh shit. And I'm like, well, even if you come out a hero, Mowgli, you're still a dickhead.
Dude, that's so funny.
And
Does he see a girl by the water and like
no, actually, the movie ends differently. He doesn't go to the jungle, or he doesn't go to the man village. He actually just like stays with the wolves and Blue and Bagheera, and the last scene is all them chilling in a tree together. It's pretty badass.
all right,
Yeah,
all right.
fuck man's village, dude. If I could hang out with Blue and Bagheera, or go to a fucking village, no, thank you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's really a sad ending that he goes and like after all that he takes out a tiger and then gets like succumbed by a
He,
woman. Man,
he doesn't really though. Like, doesn't Blue do all the work? And like the
uh, well, no, he like ties his tail to a fucking branch and then
oh
like
yeah, that's right, that's right.
yeah, which I mean that takes balls.
It does, it does.
Yeah, because I
what
mean
does
he
he have to
could
lose
just,
though? No, they
I mean
do a really cool thing because Shere Khan's face is like half burnt and scarred up, and he's like, always like telling all the animals, he's like, men came and they did this to me. But then it shows in a flashback that actually Shere Khan brought it on himself. Like he went hunting for a man, and he actually killed Mowgli's dad, who like as he's dying like burns his face and makes him run away. So he's actually been hunting Mowgli since he was a baby, and he murdered. So like there's like a revenge thing there, and it also goes to show that Shere Khan like brought it on himself. Like it's a really like they did a lot of cool shit with this movie. Like way
oh, it,
way
it
better
does sound
way better
score.
than the Jungle Book like should be. I'll say that.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're actually selling me on this a little bit because I I mean just all I heard from Zach and Cole was like, oh man, it's so cool, it's so awesome, like oh man,
You gotta
and
get
like they
yeah.
were
You
they were
gotta give
already
reason.
obsessed with Jungle Book before because he named his animals after
Ew,
him.
no, dude. I mean, me and you. I remember. Do you remember when me, you, and Chelsea were in our apartment and we watched the fucking animated film? That's the last time I watched it. Was like 7 years ago.
Oh man, yeah, I think that was the
But
last time
it's
I
just
watched.
it's so dated. It's not even close to the best Disney movie.
Oh no,
And I remember we made fun of it because like how all the animals grab at Mowgli's little underwear
yeah,
thing
yeah.
to actually carry him around. We're like, dude, what if like we watched the movie from the point of view of every animal is just trying to rape him? It just makes it that much more funny. And I think that's why we had fun with it. But no, yeah, I mean the movie, and like it's just funny too. Like there's a lot of cool shit. Like Blue the bear is such a dickhead at first. Like all he's wanting to do is just like use Mowgli to have him like climb trees and like get him shit. And like he like pretends that he needs to hibernate. He's like, oh, if you don't help me catch all this honey, I'm gonna die when it comes winter time. And Mowgli's like, okay. And then finally, like after all this shit, Bagheera catches up with him, and he's just like, what are you doing helping Blue with all this stuff? He's like, I'm just trying to help him get food. He's like, that forest bears don't hibernate, right? And Blue's like, oh yeah, I forgot. Like, it's awesome.
What a piece of shit. That's funny.
I know he is a piece of shit. It's super cool, and Bill Murray's perfect. But then we watched this movie Midnight Special with Michael Shannon and Joe Edgerton and Kirsten Dunst. It's a super awesome sci-fi thriller, and it's super fucking cool. I don't know. And then I watched some Irish musical called Sing Street. I've just seen a bunch of movies, and then
Alright.
Suicide Squad, the movie that we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, we need to get on that.
Why? Do you
I'm
work in the
actually
morning?
really I'm really interested to hear what you have to say. So go.
Oh, well, welcome to a conversation with David and Shawn. That was a very long intro talking about the Jungle Book, and
Oh, we've been recording this whole time. Fuck.
I'm David. Oh, I mean, I can start it.
No. Just leave it. It's cool.
I can
It's
start
cool.
it. But
I
I'm
don't give a
David,
shit.
and that's Shawn. And
Eh.
but for this episode, I'm going to be called King Louie, and that's going to be Shere Khan over there.
All right. Actually, I think it'd be cool if they gave Shere Khan his own story of like, basically the point of view from animals. And my
Oh.
cat.
I was going to say, is that your kid? Is that your
No,
cat?
no. See, Beasley actually is like really sweet to me now.
But then I should have known that like your kid just wouldn't be crawling around the floor.
He went to his back to his stomach, or no, his stomach to his
Yeah,
back.
I saw it on
Yeah,
Facebook.
pretty sweet,
Of
right?
course. Of course.
Yeah, so proud of him.
I know, that's what
And
Facebook's for, man. Keeping up with people's kids. So then when I
right.
see him, I'm like, I know what's going on now.
Yeah, like no one, like I
Hey.
barely give a shit as it is. Now I give a shit less when I'm actually there.
Yeah, exactly. Um,
But yeah, anyway. Uh,
so Suicide Squad, the third film in the DC extended universe. Tons of what's so funny is like out of any movie that's come out in the last like whatever, maybe it even seems more divisive than Batman vs Superman. I have no idea why just this fucking generic action movie is so like divisive, where people are like so heated about it, and it's either like the worst movie ever, like being called garbage, terrible, heat fire, piece of shit movie, or just like, oh, this movie's amazing. Like
well,
it's just a fucking action movie.
no, I mean I didn't think it was like the best, but I didn't think it was the worst either.
No,
I just had a different expectation going into it. So
I actually
first off,
expected worse than it was. Like I
no,
remember
no,
leaning
like,
over to Clayton like 45 minutes into it, going like, so like, is this just gonna become garbage later on? Because like I can't, because like I'm like, so far I've just been really entertained and I'm really fucking happy with what they're doing with these characters.
it was a fun movie.
Oh man, it was super fun. Now, granted, there's a ton of problems with it, um, but I don't think it bogged down the movie. Like sometimes issues and like fucking plot points and story beats and the way the story moves, um, sometimes that can really like ruin a movie for me, depending. But for some reason, even though while certain shit was happening, I'm like, oh, it'd be kind of cool if they did this instead. I didn't find myself going, man, this is bullshit. I'm like, all right, it's still good. Um, but yeah, no, I mean, I had a super fun time. Like, I walked out like on a super high. You got my text. I'm like, this movie's fucking awesome. I didn't say this movie's great. I didn't say like
I just thought it was fun.
yeah,
I didn't, but I thought it was going to go in a lot different directions than what it did. I guess my expectations were a little bit different, and so I kind of want to start off by what did you expect the movie to be? And I'm going to start off just by saying maybe I don't understand what Suicide Squad is actually supposed to be, because my thought was the government is not supposed to technically associate itself with the acts of what the Suicide Squad is doing. Like they're supposed to send them out on a mission. If they fuck up, then the government can say, "Oh, well, we can wash our hands of it." And
hmm
but the government's there with them the whole fucking time. So
well, it's
I don't
because
understand.
they did some kind of like I didn't expect the mission to be one of their own, and I didn't expect their mission to be to save Amanda Waller. I feel like
Yeah, same here.
I would have much rather enjoyed them going like over to Russia and doing some covert mission or some shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I was.
Um, because like the whole and like I guess we can get into the third act later, but like the whole ending was just like the Avengers and Fantastic Four and like all these other super movies we've seen where they have to stop, where they have to beat up a bunch of like nameless creatures to stop down some portal from the sky. I'm like, I've seen that like 4 times this summer. Like
Right.
I just like I didn't expect that. Like and I feel like the movie could have been better if they strayed off from that and
Well,
just like
is
sent them on a
isn't
mission.
yeah
You can
isn't
still have
the
high
Suicide
stakes.
Squad right? But isn't the Suicide Squad supposed to be like secret missions? And I'm sorry, but like a huge ass portal in the sky in a big ass city is not
Yeah,
very secret.
like they did a good job of explaining it, and I love that I mean, because I'm a huge fucking DC fan, so them like talking
Right.
about Superman, like just like, oh my god, I got my dick so hard. Uh, but yeah, but they did a good job of like nailing in like Superman's dead.
Right.
But it's like, where the fuck was Wonder Woman? Where was Batman? Like, why would they? Like, why would the Suicide Squad be the only one here? Because like, Enchantress should have fucking. I mean, if she would have succeeded, like, I don't know if Batman could fight that shit.
No.
Oh, and
No.
didn't those things remind you of things from The Last of Us too?
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
everyone
Yeah.
like online and shit's calling them like, oh, face bubbly monsters. I'm like, the first thing I thought of, and Clayton, I was like, The Last of Us. He's like, yeah,
Yeah. But I think they just had a bunch of those just to show up dead shots, like
just to
super
show off
awesome.
everybody killing them.
Yeah.
Which granted, like they were still people though. They kind of
Right.
did like a throwaway line where it's like, oh, these used to be people. So like, I think like if superheroes were involved, they might not have killed them as much. So what do you think? Because I think the characters are the reason this movie worked. What do you think of all the characters?
I think they did a good job with Harley Quinn and Deadshot. Obviously, like them two carried the
Dude, I
fucking.
think all of them. I think actually I would say honestly the standouts for me are Amanda Waller, El Diablo, and Deadshot. Harley Quinn, not that she wasn't good, but like I feel like her character could have used maybe a little. She had a lot of screen time, but like I think I think Waller and El Diablo had like shorter amounts of screen time, but they did more of their characters. Like I would have liked to have seen more, like because I felt like the conflict they're going for with Harley Quinn was she's in love with the Joker, even though she knows it's never gonna work, but she's torn between going with him and helping her friends, these people that she shouldn't call friends, but she's growing closer to as the mission goes on. So I felt like as much screen time as she had, she was just kind of like eye candy, which I did not mind at all.
No, not at all.
But they could have done like a little more. Like those flashbacks were so beautifully shot, but I wish they were longer. I felt like they were just snippets. And like me as a comic fan, like I knew what the flashbacks meant. Like when he was in Arkham and she was the doctor, like I would have liked to see some dialogue of how he did like kind of sway her over to his side and coax her, and then like kind of like fuck with her mentally to make her return. Like all of a sudden like it was just like it was if I remember correctly, it was while Amanda Waller was talking, you just like saw the scene with no dialogue. I would have liked to have seen that scene extended.
Well, I mean, yeah, I think we all wanted to, but people are already complaining that they're like, there's too many characters and there's too many flashbacks.
Isn't that such a bullshit argument, though? Because
it is.
People like to use that argument just to help validate their points, but like Lord of the Rings, X-Men, like fucking X-Men, Days of Future Past, any of like the Lord of the Rings films, how many 30 of characters did that have? Like,
right.
Not every character needs a full fleshed out story. Sometimes like characters are just in the fucking movie, and like
it's a lazy argument.
Yeah,
it's a completely lazy argument,
yeah,
and
like, I don't get it.
You wanted more. No, you wanted more like flashbacks and stuff. I think they did just enough because they had so many they had to introduce.
They did
that they would have spent too much time on the flashbacks and not enough time on the actual story itself. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to respectfully disagree with you, but I understand why you want.
I mean, I would have been okay with this movie being like 4 hours though. Like it didn't drag to me at all. I was just like, holy shit.
But you're not of the average viewer though.
No.
Not by any stretch.
No, and like it's hard to think of parts that could be cut out. But the characters like Deadshot was so fucking. He was so fucking awesome. His costume looked cool. I would have liked to have seen him maybe do like in that flashback with them talking down that buyer. Where it's like, man, like your target's gonna get away. He does that awesome fucking ricochet shot. I would have liked to have seen more shots like that. Like the scene where he like unloads on all those Last of Us dudes. It's just like I feel like me and you, like granted he has a little bit more accuracy, but he is fucking machine guns of guys just running at you. I feel like it would have been cool to see him do more tricks than just like spray guns side to side. Because I mean technically like Rick Flag or any of the military dudes probably could have done that maybe.
Right. I did like when they showcased him with the target practice and he kept shooting the same hole.
Oh, wasn't that badass?
It's like, God damn, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, I mean, Will Smith, I'm so glad, like, this is such a good, like, fucking comeback for him. Like, he was so funny, and, like, he also brought, like, his dramatic chops, like, but, he had good serious moments, good comedy moments, good action moments. Like, he's a fucking all-star, and I feel like I haven't really enjoyed a film he's done since I, Robot, maybe. Like, I Am Legend was okay. Or no, was I Am Legend before?
So what are your biggest issues with this movie?
Oh, with the
overall film itself, because you said you had a lot of issues.
Oh, with it. Okay. So, Enchantress, right? So, like, I loved that they dove in, like, her backstory with her in the pyramid was creepy as fuck. Like, I loved when she was in, like, the Pentagon or whatever that was. And she transforms. Did you like that scene where she puts her hand on the table and Enchantress grabs her hand from underneath and transforms? That was creepy as fuck.
That was creepy. Then, that's what nightmares are made of.
Dude, that was fucking awesome. And then after that, her character went like downhill. Like it was just like, I guess when she just escaped and like went to the subway and like found her and like got her brother Incubus out, which they glossed over. It's like, well, what could have like? It's like what, like. It just seemed like perfect timing. Like they could have, like I feel like she was a Russian villain. Like I feel like I'm like, why is she just trying to escape now? Like why not anytime?
Dude, I'm glad you feel that way because I felt the exact
Yeah,
same
no, like
way.
the villain's shitty. Now she's a
Yeah,
cool character. She's a lot to explain. I feel like they should have went with somebody different because she could have been like a whole movie after the like maybe part two. The Suicide Squad set up, then they get her, and then halfway through the movie she turns. Because I was quick on how fast she turned, and she got
right.
Incubus, and then she took over the subway train station, and I was like, "Fuck, this movie just started." Really, like, are they already going? Like, are they already like setting up the fucking big bad? And yeah, and then like her being the ending uh, villain, I thought was rushed because she's so strong and powerful. You have this awesome breakout fight at the end, and then she just like takes other weapons away like at the end for nothing. And like everything that went along with that fight, like Killer Croc and Captain Boomerang were awesome at the scenes they were in, but like you have a guy who's like his only fucking power or skill is to throw shit, and he throws like one boomerang. I think that
I think
little
they
camera
stuck to.
thing, and it's like
Yeah,
so at the very end when you have the bomb that needs to be thrown. Why didn't he throw it? Like it's just like he's so underused. Like it's like I would like to see him just like throwing all kinds of boomerangs and shit. And I mean, Killer Croc did get a little bit of his due because I felt like they were super losing that fight until Killer Croc showed back up and like took her and threw her. But yeah, I felt like a lot of the characters were like super underutilized because they fought like a really shitty
yeah.
villain. And I can't. I'm gonna say this over and over again. You can't have Captain like, and as funny as he was, and that's the best Jai Courtney's been since I saw him in Spartacus. He was great and funny, but like he didn't do anything. Like he just hung out with that pink unicorn, and like threw like one or two boomerangs. I'm like, he should be like, because the thing that I love about this movie, and even though the villain pissed me off, um, I'm still a little torn on it because I'm so happy with how comic booky and out there they went with this. But
Hmm.
if you're gonna go that out there with it, like why not just have Captain Boomerang throw some boomerangs?
Yeah, well, yeah. Like I said, I think that they completely snuffed his character, and
Yeah. Like I feel like
no,
scenes were cut out. Like when he like left the bar, and then he just is like back with them randomly. I'm like, is there maybe some scenes you want to add back in to maybe
well,
explain
okay.
something?
So when Amanda Waller is like introducing all these
Oh,
characters,
she's a
like, hey, we're
badass. She's always at that steakhouse too. By the way, did you stay for the behind the, or did you stay for like the after the credit scene?
no, I don't think I
Oh
did.
shit, she's back in the steakhouse, right, for like the third time in that movie, eating a steak by herself, and who fucking walks in? Bruce Wayne. And he's
Oh,
just
wait,
like,
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. I was there for that.
I
Yeah,
love
never
that
mind.
because in the comics and even the animated show, Batman and Amanda Waller are always like at each other's throats because she's like, we don't trust the Justice League, and he's like, I just like, there's like so many cool scenes in the animated show where she's like shut it down, and then like Superman comes up like behind her, and he's like, my guns are bigger than yours, and she's like, fuck, like they're always like at each other's throats, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
But like I love that line when he uses Batman voice to her when she's like, you got to quit working nights or something. He's just like, shut it down, or like me and my boys would do it. I'm like, oh, that's so fucking cool, threatening the government.
yeah. That's really funny. But so when she's like introducing all the characters, like throwing the files out at them and everything,
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, so and even like they're showcasing the Enchantress and stuff, something like that. I'm like, okay, so what mission were they gonna do before the Enchantress got all fucked up?
I
You know what I
don't
mean?
know. Actually, to be honest, like this is technically their first mission. Like they offer them the job. I think then they all like kind of like decline it. Like we don't want to do this.
Of
But
course they.
then Amanda Waller gets trapped in the city, so she just like forces them all in with the head bomb.
I think they were gonna do that regardless,
Yeah,
though.
yeah, which I fucking love. Like he's giving Rick Flag all this shit about like giving a shitty fucking prep up speech, and then he just holds up the tablet and she's like, "I have this bomb in your head, and I'll fucking blow it off if you like come near him or disobey me or anything." And then Rick Flag's just like, "There's your fucking pep talk." God,
Yeah.
that movie was so funny, and the soundtrack, like
Oh yeah.
I heard a ton of people complaining about like how there's a song like every 5 minutes. I thought it was fine. Like I like
It's
I'm
a
a huge
fun
fan of
movie.
music. Like when fucking Eminem came on, I was like fuck yeah. Especially since
Yeah.
it was that "Without Me" song, which I don't know if you remember like the music video from high school, but
Oh yeah, yeah,
he's dressed up as fucking Robin and Dr. Dre is dressed up as Batman in the video. I'm like
yeah,
it's a little
yeah.
fitting if they were to pop in for a minute.
Of course. I thought that was
But
that
yeah,
was
no,
pretty.
I really love the music though, because like if a scene's gonna happen, like play some music I like. Like I can just bob my head to it, like while I enjoy the scene. Like it didn't take me out at all.
Dude, like I said, it's a fun movie.
It's
It's
super
not
fun.
supposed to be taken. I mean, for God's sake, the main theme of the main colors of the movie are green and purple. I mean, it's a fun movie. I
Yeah.
mean, Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
and how did you so like yeah, so I mean Harley Quinn was awesome, like I said. I would have liked a little bit more, but I know for time they couldn't do it. Deadshot was
Right.
perfect. His relationship with his daughter, I fucking bought it and believed it. Especially since
Yeah, yeah.
like he gave up fighting the Batman, who would have kicked his ass anyway. Let's be real. Like Batman just just came down and like kicked his ass for a little bit. But like the fact that he gave up like fighting the Bat for his daughter and like gave himself over to jail for God knows how long in his mind. And then I love when like the enchantress is doing like those little visions of like this is what I can give you, and it's like him killing the Batman. That was so fucking cool. That's like his deepest, darkest like desire. But yeah, so I bought that if that's his deepest, darkest desire, then like that's how much this kid means to him. Um, so that
Yeah,
was
which
really
is cool.
cool.
Yeah, it goes back to like when we reviewed the X-Men, how, if you can identify with the villain just a little bit, it makes it a pretty decent movie, you
Oh,
know?
I liked almost all these villains. I could relate to him and fucking El Diablo.
Yeah, that was cool. I like how they threw in his story. His is like actually probably the most dramatic out of
Oh yeah,
everybody's,
super dramatic. Like he can't control his power because obviously you see what he turns into, which is so
which
fucking comic booky and awesome too. I can't believe that they did that.
but like
Um,
like it makes sense why he is the way he is now. It's like, oh, well, that's why he
yeah,
wants to be a pacifist because he murdered his whole family. Like
family just
Jesus
because
Christ.
his wife was fighting with him and he lost control. The only thing I
Well,
didn't like is in his flashback vision. Um, like he burned everybody, but his wife was still there and they turned into ashes. Like I know that's probably not how it happened, and it was probably there for dramatic effect for the flashback. But like it just seemed a little goofy to me, and like a moment that should have been like super dramatic. Do you
yeah,
remember that?
yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
remember. I just think that,
But I took what they were saying more to heart.
which I'm
Yeah.
whatever. It's okay. I just let it go. I'm gonna let that go because they're I'm more of a plot person,
Oh yeah.
and I think my biggest issue with it is just that I wanted the plot to go a different direction, and it's not my movie, so I have to accept
No,
that.
but like I can't believe like when they were showing flashback how everybody got caught, and Amanda Waller's just like I just let other super people like know where these villains are, and like dude, I can't explain to you how happy I was when Batman. Just like this is what I've always wanted. Like, and the Marvel films are starting to do this. Like with Civil War, like Ant-Man and Spider-Man just drop in, and Black Panther's just in it.
Hmm.
But like I want these movies to be living, breathing worlds, which is another thing that I love, and we'll talk about the Joker and why I thought he was so cool. But I love how, like, yeah, it's just living, breathing world. Like he's just walking, all of a sudden Batman just drops in behind him. Like I was just like, holy fucking shit! Like we really have a movie where this is happening, and
Yeah,
yeah, he just fucks him up and then leaves. And he didn't,
yeah.
and like yeah, he didn't brand him. He busted up the cuffs, but branding him might have been cool.
Okay, so
Brand his
I mean,
daughter
Joker
too, just
probably would have
because.
dug it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
and
would.
then for him just to be
You
fucking
should
with
cover
Harley
up the shitty
Quinn.
tattoos. Cover up those shitty tattoos with a brand.
Oh no, yeah, no, he didn't even catch. Oh, okay, you're talking about the Joker. I thought you were talking about. No, actually, the fucking director came out and was talking because those little bios that flash up for everybody that's too fast to read. Our Harley Quinn just said that she assisted in the murder of fucking Robin. You remember in Batman
I
vs Superman?
I heard about that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
how you see like the Robin costume with bullet holes in it and it's fucking spray painted like haha the joke's on you. Um,
yeah.
and so the fucking director was like, yeah, so basically like Harley Quinn and Joker killed Robin. And when Batman found out, he busted out the Joker's teeth, which is why he has the grill. Which I remember talking to you like years and years and years ago when they first announced like Batman vs Superman and then Suicide Squad, and they showed the Joker with his grill. I'm like, dude, I bet the Batman's busted out his teeth. And so that's why he has that damage tattoo, because he's like, Batman like damaged me, or it doesn't. He's a fucking sociopath, so I don't know what people expect.
Oh, he's more than that.
But I mean, yeah, you know, but yeah, so basically that's the reason for the damage tattoo, the director said. I'm tired of all these movies, though. One small complaint is all these directors, like, revealing cool fucking tidbits and, like, them not being explained in the movie. Like, I know why Batman killed in Batman vs. Superman, because the fucking director explained, like, all this PTSD he has and all this shit that Superman, like, the body, like, you know, basically, you know, push him over the edge to kill. I'm like, that's cool, but like all these people have a big issue with Batman killing in your movie, and you didn't address it in the movie. You addressed it in like a fucking online interview that like not everyone read.
Yeah,
so like the Joker shit, like that's really cool. Like, why can't you have that in the movie? Like nobody would have complained to have a scene of Batman punching out Joker's teeth.
Nope, not at all. Now, okay, so how do you think? You think Jared Leto did
oh my
good?
God, he did fucking phenomenal. I love this Joker. So here's the deal. So like everyone's gonna unfairly compare this to Heath Ledger for some reason.
No, for some reason, because it hasn't been that long since. I mean, since the last Batman.
Well, so the best Joker of all time in any medium has been in the Arkham games, and I'll fucking contest that the last Batman game has the best storyline of the Joker of all time, the best Batman and Joker story, even though the Joker's dead and the Joker is just in his mind. There's some beautifully written shit in there. But no, like, so no knock on the fucking Dark Knight, because I love that movie. It's fantastic. I saw it like 8 times in the theater and countless times in video. But so like whenever he was setting up and like making all these plans happen and like, you know, arranging like the assassination of like the fucking, you know, mayor, and like setting up like the shooting where you think Commissioner Gordon died, it's always like, how did he kind of get this shit done? But in this movie, making him more of like a fucking modern, you know, gangster that you see people fear and, you know, respect him, like he's pretty much just like a fucking, you know, gangster. Like I actually believe that he runs shit, and I believe that like he can get shit done. And that's what that's just what I liked about him. Like he's like a modern gangster who's like obviously all hyped up on drugs and tattooed and shit, but he's like fucking crazy as fuck. Like that scene with him in Common was so fucking well done. I wish it was rated R though, because it would have had more of an impact when he shot him.
Well, okay, so all right, and we might have a little bit of a disagreement here, but I just maybe my expectation is that I'm comparing him too much to the Heath Ledger Joker.
No,
but
because he is not like any Joker that's been in any comic or anything. Like this Joker, but
but the thing
like
is,
the comic and cartoon mixed with like modern like gangster.
Yeah, but like when I think of Joker, I think of like a clever way of killing somebody. I thought it was just kind of like, oh, he just shot him in the face. Like I just wanted something like where I don't see the way he kills him coming.
Really?
Like,
he was fucking with him the whole time though. That's like total Joker. Like, oh hey, do you want my girl? Oh wait, you don't? What, is she not running out for you? Like, what are you doing? Like, that's just like he's just fucking with people.
Wanted something. I guess I just wanted something a little bit more clever. Like, take for instance when he's like, hey, when the last Joker's like, hey, I can make this pencil
disappear. Yeah.
Impales the guy with the pencil in his fucking with his eyeball. Like takes a pencil and fucking jams it into the guy's eyeball and fucking kills him. Like, dude, like that. You can't tell me that's not like the coolest fucking thing ever.
No, that was really funny and cool, but that doesn't work. That doesn't work all the time though. And the Joker is like super brutal and just like violent and just like he's fucking merciless. Like he doesn't fuck with you before he kills you. He just does it, and like that's the joke.
Well, like, I mean, the Heath Ledger Joker, and again, I'm not, like, trying to always compare him, but, like, you know, I just wanted, like, what makes him so special, though? Like, what makes the Joker so special? Like, what makes this Joker so special? You know?
That he's believable. That I believe that he can get shit done, and he's not just magically stealing boats and, like, having people, like, in office assassinated, like, when he has, like, no connections or anything.
I think this
And
Joker
him
kind
just
of
like walking around as a nurse outfit, no one recognizes him. Like there was a lot of like suspending like your disbelief of the shit that happened in The Dark Knight, just because it's such a good movie. But this, I believe, like he's like pretty much like untouchable in Gotham. Like he has his gang, and everyone knows him, and everyone knows how to fuck with him. I love that his gang wears goat, panda, and Batman masks. By the way, that's fucking
yeah, that was
super
pretty
cool.
funny. I just think that this Joker's more like a 1,000-yard stare Joker, like, you know. But then where the other one's like a very cold and calculated
Yeah,
Joker.
I'd be more afraid of this one, to be honest.
Oh man,
The
I
other
don't
one you
know.
just walk away from.
Nah, I don't know, man.
And like,
Because
what's he gonna do? You never see him exhaust any energy or run.
yeah, and that to me is just like, like, why aren't you tired?
Yeah, I feel like Batman will actually have like, Batman has some competition with this one. In the other movie, the Joker got his ass kicked.
Yeah, yeah. It just seemed like the other one, like I said, more cold, more calculated, more like what made the Joker, always like is he was just always clever, like very just clever.
Oh, he
And
was. He was always like 5 steps ahead of everybody in that movie.
yeah,
Which is also really fun, but at the same time, it's like, man, like how the. Which one I'm saying. I'm not gonna beat a dead
I just
horse,
don't
but like,
see
yeah,
that.
you have to you have to suspend your disbelief and logic of how we got some of that shit done.
Okay, well, yeah, and welcome to like the DC universe. I mean, come on, you got a guy like Superman flying around for no fucking reason because he's an alien. Oh man,
Oh man.
suspend your disbelief a little bit.
Not in that movie though. Those movies, that fucking Nolan trilogy was like super dark and like realistic, where like everything like was explained, except for
Yeah.
what the Joker did and what he could do.
Yeah. I just think this Joker probably, like you said, is probably a bit more brutal physically, but I don't think that
And I
he
love
had.
him. And I also think we didn't get enough of him to judge. Like I wanted way more of him.
Yeah,
And
that's
there's
true.
a lot
I
of
just,
the scenes that were cut out.
I just want a Joker that's unpredictable because that is what the Joker is.
I hope he's in the Batman movie. I mean, I hope there's a Suicide Squad 2 that comes out and gets greenlit. But I think our next chance of seeing him, I don't think he's going to be in Justice League because we talked about that before. They're going to be fighting gods and shit like that. The Joker has no place in that. I think he'll pop up in the Batman movie that fucking Ben Affleck's doing, and that should be cool because Ben Affleck, I don't know if you've seen Ben Affleck's films, but they're really well done. But no, I mean, yeah, I mean, and there's fucking rumors the next Batman movie could take place just, Arkham, kind of like an Arkham video game style movie. That'd be cool though, because you could showcase like all the villains. It'd be cool to have Deadshot back in there because he was really cool. Have the Joker in there.
I was going to ask you real fast before we wrap this up. And it's been a long time since I've watched like any of like the TV shows or like read any comics or anything. But like I thought like between the Joker and the Harley Quinn dynamic, and if I'm wrong, you can just tell me. But I thought the dynamic between them is traditionally a little bit different. Like in this movie, they seem like the Joker really cares and loves Harley Quinn, which like in the other one, like in the traditional sense, like Harley Quinn had like a severe case of Stockholm syndrome, and like Joker doesn't really give a fuck. He's just like, get off me.
You know what? I actually kind of like that. I read Paul Dini, the guy that actually created Harley Quinn, because she was credited for the cartoon, and then she was so popular that they made her canon in like the comics and shit.
Okay.
But he actually, like, I forget who I heard it from. I forget what podcast. Maybe it was the Kevin Smith one, but he said that like Paul Dini, the guy that fucking created her, actually like teared up in the theater because he's like, holy shit, like they've never been shown like in love before. And that's the guy that created her. So the thing, I mean, of course, every different version is going to be a little different. I take it as she does have Stockholm syndrome. There's a love-hate thing. I don't think he loves her in a traditional sense. I think that he's so far like gone mentally that like I don't think like he can love, but I think like he's so into himself and so what he wants that since he kind of took this person and like fucked with her and like molded her to what he wanted to be, like she's something that he created. So I think even if he doesn't love her in the traditional sense, like there's still something there that like, he kind of claims her as his. That way, like, cause there's been like stuff in the cartoons and comics and shit where like he kind of is like fuck you, but then like if someone else does something with her, like he gets real fucking jealous and overprotective because I think
Right.
like he thinks of her as like his property since he made her.
But like he dove into that like acid pit or whatever with her. So
Yeah,
I mean,
right. That was really cool. Like yeah, dude. I fucking love that scene. Where
yeah. So
he
it's like,
fucking
well,
took her
that
to
to
where he
me
got
says
created.
like
Yeah,
she's just like, oh, will you die for me? So then he's like, all right.
yeah.
So now that she's shown
Yeah,
that,
I
I'm
did
gonna.
love that when he said like, "Will you die for me?" He's like, "No, no, no." He's like, "No, that's too easy." He's like, "Will you live for me?" And then like, yeah, he just does he push her or does she fall in? I
No,
forget.
I think she falls
She
in.
falls in and then he just walks away like he doesn't care. And then he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna go after her." Yeah, I mean, I think there is. I mean, so the whole spiel I just gave, I still think like that's in effect because I think that's just part of their relationship. But yeah, I think in this version of this incarnation of him, he actually does kind of like, if if anything, he might just be more physical with her. But I mean, he wouldn't be.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, she's so fucking hot. But
yeah, that was such a cool like. There's scenes
yeah,
like that are so well done and beautifully shot and so like artsy, and just I'm like, how can like sure, there's a lot of shit wrong with the movie, especially like the third act, but like
I
scenes like
mean,
that just make it for me.
I'm okay with them changing dynamics of characters a little bit. I'm just asking what your opinion was,
Oh
or
yeah,
you know,
and like I know there's a lot of people that like fucking say that the Joker shouldn't have been in it, that he doesn't add anything. You take his character out and the movie's still the same. I thought he added development for Harley Quinn's story arc, and
yeah.
I know like I
Which
mentioned.
they might need it. They might need it in the next movie. They might need
Yeah, I
that.
mean, I think the next movie should be the Suicide Squad going after them two, and then like Harley has to maybe choose in the end between like Deadshot and the team or Joker and like a fight. Like, that'd be cool because like I felt like that's what they were building towards.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool how Deadshot intentionally missed Harley Quinn when
Mm-hmm.
she's like fucking dingling from that fucking rope.
Yeah, I mean that was so. I mean that's kind of weird though. Like that's one of like the inconsistencies where like either it was inconsistencies in the script or like there's shit that's been cut out of the movie, which obviously like we all heard about the reshoots and stuff. Maybe there was some scenes that made them bond closer, but at that point in the movie, I'm like, he realistically should have because you remember how he faked it. He's like, fuck yeah, you're gonna consider her dead if he can go see his kid. Like I think like his character at that point in the story probably would have just killed her.
Yeah, but I
Daughter
think they're
again.
trying to show that he's not a terrible person. I mean, he might be an assassin and kill.
He kind of
But
is though.
yeah, I think they're trying to
No.
depict
Yeah,
he's
no, I
not.
don't know. They kept stressing this whole like we're family now, and I'm like, I don't think that was really earned. Like, granted,
No,
like I know like you bond over going on like crazy missions together, but they still, and I mean,
but they're all sociopaths to a certain degree.
yeah, I mean, I guess they were all sticking together because right when they land or crash land, they all start talking to like I think he says it well because first Jai Courtney tells Slipknot like, hey, we got to get away, and then Deadshot tells Harley Quinn, um, hey, we're gonna fucking make a break for it, pass it around. So like I believe as the movie's gone on, they've all been talking to each other like, hey, are we gonna break out? So like I think they've bonded, but like I think they take it to like a corny level at the end where they're like, we're all family.
Yeah, I think so too. Because especially if they're hardened criminals with I mean just sociopath and criminals. I don't think that translating in the real world or a real life scenario. I think all of these people are like fuck you guys, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that was kind of funny that Amanda Waller was like, "Oh yeah, you only get 10 years off your sentence."
Oh,
Like,
that was awesome. They're like, fuck no, we don't. Yeah.
yeah,
She was
Jesus.
she was so. So if we're gonna wrap it up soon, there's a lot of shit I want to ramble off. Amanda Waller, holy shit, what a fucking bitch! I love her. She's so perfect.
She played her part
All of
perfectly.
her scenes were cool. I want to see more of her, especially if she battles against Bruce Wayne and like if she's like part of the government that like hates the Justice League after they form. Like that'd be
Right.
cool with me. Yeah, she's cool. She needs to be in more stuff. I didn't really like how they forced her into the plot of them needing to rescue her. But I mean, I guess they got her more screen time, so that's fine. I guess at the same time, because she was cool. And she was, dude. She fucking murdered those fucking interns. Holy
I know that was
shit!
pretty awesome.
Wow. And she's just like, and like Rick Flagg's like, whoa, all right. And like
Yeah.
Rick Flag was cool. I liked him. I bought the relationship with him and Enchantress. I bought him just being like the soldier guy who like after his team gets all upset at him, they go into the bar. He's just like, "Well, you guys are all good to go now." Like, you know, like I just like I don't know. I just liked all the characters. What did you think when the Flash showed up to put away Captain Boomerang? That was I fucking geeked out so hard.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I'm like, huh,
That's what I'm
okay.
saying. Like I love like that shit like this can just happen in these movies. 'Cause I
I
love
feel
these
like I actually
characters.
got a better look at him too. I'm like, oh, okay, so that's what he looks like. I mean, just
Yeah,
because like in the in Batman vs Superman, you only see him for like that moment where he's like,
and you don't even
trying.
know it's him.
Yeah, you're like the Flash, like, yeah,
I thought I was just watching a desert movie and like Mad Max, and now I'm watching now Flash is in here. Yeah,
uh,
and then oh, so we touch on El Diablo. I liked how he was the one that when they were all having their fucking, when like Enchantress at the end is showing everyone their darkest, fan or like their, the deepest desires.
right.
I like how fucking El Diablo like saw his family and kids. He's like, nope, like none of this is real. Like he's the one that broke him out of it. I liked how um, it didn't show. It showed dead shots. It showed Harley Quinn's, which I thought was really cool. A little confusing though because you remember the scene uh, when the Joker's laying down around all those knives. You see baby clothes too. And I'm like, are there baby clothes? When he's just like losing his mind laughing after they're talking about going and getting Harley Quinn. Well, in her flashback, it shows like even though like she was given El Diablo shit, you know, sorry, like I know I'm jumping all over the place. But when they're in the bar and he's like, "I killed my kids" or whatever, and there's an awkward silence, and she's like, "Get the fuck over it, you pussy." I love how she called him a pussy too. She just like owned that shit. So like she's just like people like us don't get families. But then when it showed her like deepest fantasies and like it showed that she actually like does want a family deep down. Like she
Oh
wants,
yeah.
which I think adds like so many layers to her and the Joker's relationship just in that scene where like sure she's with this guy and she probably knows she can never lead like a normal life with him, but she would love for him just to be like a 9 to 5 family man and just give her some kids because she loves him so much. I thought
No,
that was really cool and twisted.
yeah. I think
Um,
that's what women want though. Like
yeah,
that's yeah, which is pretty funny.
and then so I think those are the only I don't Captain Boomerang didn't get a fantasy, neither did Croc or Katana. She was kind of like she was the one who didn't need to be in there. She was cool looking though, and like I loved her being in there because I love her character in the comics and the show, and
Right.
even in the Batman. There's this Batman CGI series called Beware the Batman that was only 1 season long. She was as Robin in it. It was just him and her and Alfred, and like that
Hmm.
was. But yeah, but no, she was cool though. I felt like they wanted to give her more backstory, like with her sword and like her husband's soul being trapped in it, but like it didn't really go anywhere. They could
I
have
mean, what
kept
else
going.
do you need to say? Like, husband died in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
sword.
yeah.
All right, we're good.
She's hot, Asian, and she's available, so that's all I need.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you can see her stomach the whole time because it got like the little cut off
yeah, and they
thing.
covered up her face, so it's like the best of both worlds.
Oh man, perfect. Yeah.
But yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I guess those are the only 3 characters that got fantasies, right? That they showed. They didn't show anyone else's fantasies. They showed
Yeah,
Deadshot killing the Batman, Harley
but
Quinn.
nobody else was really important because they snuffed everybody else's characters.
They
So
did. Like Killer Croc was so he was so cool and funny, and like I love when they're like we're all ugly people. Except for, no wait, what they say? We're all like beautiful on the outside but ugly on the inside, and they're like except for you, you're ugly like fucking all the way around. He's like, nah, baby, I'm beautiful. Like I don't
yeah,
know, he was cool. I fucking liked him. He actually moved like a crocodile, which was really creepy in the water when he went down with the SEAL team. I was like, oh,
yeah.
they didn't need to show that. Well, yeah, and then yeah, El Diablo died. Like I kind of forgot. He just dies. They blow his ass up with the bomb, which is what I'm thinking. Like if a bomb were to kill these like super powerful people, like why couldn't they just shoot missiles into the building, like the army?
Yeah. I was actually gonna bring that up because well, they can just like Obama could just fucking drone strike. I mean, like, okay, well, portal's closed, done. All
Exactly.
right, cool.
Exactly.
Let's go get some coffee.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like I have hopes for the movie ending with Joker breaking her out of prison. Like I feel like that's setting up like the rest because like what this movie showed me is that like instead of like saying like, oh, there's a Batman subplot and a Joker subplot, like I don't think of them as subplots. I just think of this whole universe as like one long story, and you just get like chapters of it. So like, yeah, Batman and Joker can just appear. Without being like, oh, that story didn't go anywhere. It's like it doesn't have to. Like they just drop it and do their thing and leave. And like it's just, and like I get why some critics like that are like film snobby, or not a film snob that's talking down to them. People that are like professional movie critics, like it's hard for the like I could see why they would see that as like a subplot that didn't go anywhere. But like as a comic book fan, I see it as just like character cameos that just like make the story, make the world feel like it's living and breathing, where characters can just drop in and do their shit.
Yeah, and I think that's why the fans received it much better than
the critics,
general.
because I get it, where they're like, oh, there's like random music all over the place, and Batman pops in for no reason, and the Joker, why the fuck was he in there? And I'm like, he's in there because it put a smile on my face, and it was so cool to see these characters interact with each other.
Yeah.
No, yeah, like so the fact that it ended with him breaking her out of prison, like I'm excited that like they might pop into like I mean, they could pop into fucking like the Flash movie for all I know. Like that just excites the shit out of me.
I think I think plot wise it would have been better if they didn't fight other metahumans, because I understand they're like, oh well, now there's metahumans out there, so we have to use our metahumans to fight their metahumans. But my thing is
they could have like, wrapped it up a little better. I mean, granted, it's kind of cool that they gave them a bunch of things to kill. Like it was cool to see Harley Quinn like use the bat to fuck a bunch of people up, and it showed Rick Flag shooting a bunch of people and Deadshot killing a bunch of people. Croc was killing some people. Again, it would have been cool to see Captain Boomerang throw some boomerangs at people, but he just kind of like hung out. Katana was actually awesome though. She fucked a lot of people up. So I mean, I think the reason they went this way is because they wanted them to be able to kill a bunch of things.
Right.
But so my whole thing is like, I know if me and you offered the kind of money that these people are offered to write this movie, me and you could come up with a way better scenario.
Oh, fuck
so
yes,
like, it's like on the spot. Am I going to be able to do it? No, but give me like a couple weeks to a month. Fuck yeah, I'll give you the best Suicide Squad story you've ever.
If that was just my job, then I think we could. Yeah, for sure.
It would be awesome. And it would make sense. But it would still have. I still think like the whole first like 45 minutes of this movie would still be intact. Like I loved how they brought in Slipknot just to kill him. And that goes against like there's a bunch of people that are like, why was he in the movie? Well, somebody had to die so you could show how the neck bomb works.
Serious.
So like, why not just bring in a character that people know? Like, it doesn't need to be some unnamed dude. Like, if someone's gonna die, like make him a character so comic book fans will say, oh, that's cool. But that was funny though that he like tried to fly away, and that was like as violent as you could go with that scene for it being in PG-13. Like you kind of saw his headless body just hanging. And they just left him hanging, which was perfect, because he's the guy that uses the fucking ropes. So they just left his body hanging. They're like, well, that's your warning. Like, that was perfect.
Dude, that was. I think, obviously, we would have kept the scene like that. I mean, and I agree. I think
you could even have Enchantress be the villain, really, and just maybe make it go down a little different. But I don't know, man.
My
whole thing is, like, when they go to fight her, besides El Diablo, you can't really fight her.
Yeah, well, my thing is it reminded me a lot of Apocalypse, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know if you saw Fantastic Four, the new one. It reminded me of that. It reminded me of both Avengers movies, where they just like are fighting some unknown, like a bunch of like just this mass army of people that when you shut down the portal, they all drop dead. I'm sure there's a bunch of other superhero movies that have done it too.
Well, my thing though is so you've got these metahumans. And the whole point, like I'm going back to my original point though, is the whole point of the Suicide Squad, in my mind, and I think you agreed with me, is that they have to do, and they even said it in the movie though. So of course you're going to agree with me then, that.
I'm sorry.
That they have to do a job that the government can't associate themselves with. So if there's a giant
or
fucking
something that their normal military can't handle, because granted, they have some of them have special abilities.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying that they're supposed to do things that if they fail, that the government doesn't take responsibility for, or if they're caught, the government says, "Oh, well, we have to wash our hands of this. Like we weren't behind this."
You know what?
So
Your complaint could have been solved with them with showing them going on a couple missions before this one.
yeah,
Because this was like the personal mission, the like, hey, I need to be saved. Come save me. Which is funny that like their helicopter got shot down, and then shit immediately tries to get in the helicopter, get shot down, and Joker's helicopter gets shot down. I'm like, you motherfuckers need to quit trying to fly out of here. Like obviously, like, and like
yeah, it's
it
funny.
never really showed who shot them down, did it? There's a lot of inconsistencies in this movie.
Yeah.
The faceless people had, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I did like how Joker just kind of like, I did like how like he took over like their fucking helicopter, and she's just like, oh shit, like that's not under our control anymore. And I was like, oh, it's the villains. I didn't expect it to be Joker though until like he popped out. He was all dressed in a tuxedo. That was so badass. It's fucking total Joker. Doesn't give a shit. How'd you think about Batman punching Harley Quinn in the face?
I mean, she had it coming. I mean, but still. Yeah.
I thought that was so. It was classic Batman and classic Harley. Like he's trying to save her life, and even though she's drowning, she's trying to like stab him, and he's just like, dude, I'm trying to save your life. Like time's not on our side. Like I don't have time to fuck with you, and not during the hit. And then she fucking sandlotted him.
That's so funny. It reminded me of like, not to like bring up my job or anything like that, but like I've had to transport like psychiatric patients before.
Yeah, do you punch them? Do you wish you could Batman them?
Oh man, I wish I could. I can't punch them.
Why? Wouldn't that make the drive to the hospital a lot more easy?
Oh, it definitely would. I mean, I might get in trouble for that, but it'd be so nice. But yeah, you have to restrain these people, and they hate you for it, and yeah, I kind of had like a little flashback to the ambulance. You know, I'm like, yeah, psycho bitches.
So, what would you? I guess to wrap this movie up, because I don't know. I think we touch on all the points, all my favorite things. What would you rate this out of? I guess Are we gonna do a scale of 100 out of 100?
Yeah, we can do 100. I mean, I'd probably give it probably like a 68, maybe.
I'd go 75.
Okay, so we're pretty close.
Yeah.
I guess.
Granted, that's saying, I mean, it's still, 70 high is a pretty high score for a movie, but it's still, and there's still a lot wrong with the way the movie like kind of went, but like, yeah, it was just so fun. And even though some of the shit going on, I was like, really, they're going this route? I was still like, all right, like I'm along for the ride. Like I was willingly along for the ride.
Yeah. And I was too, and I still like. I think I'm judging it. I'm giving it a good score based off the way it made me feel at the end, because that's really what art is, and this is art. You know, at the end of the day, and it made me feel like good and fun and happy.
It was really well directed.
Yeah.
The pacing was off, but that's because of like the way the story went. And there's all these rumors that like the guy who directed the movie like didn't really get the final say so and what was shown. He's doing the smart thing and he's coming out saying like, no, this is my version. But like if you've seen his other movies, like you know that like he does dark movies. Like he did Fury and fucking End of Watch, and so it's like I don't really buy it all that much.
Yeah. Well, my
maybe
thing
we'll get
is,
another director's cut, because there's that joke going on, because they call this whole universe like the DCEU, and apparently that stands for fucking director's cut, director's cut edition, because apparently all these movies are better when you finally get to see what the director wanted to do. I would like to see a director's cut of this. I want to see all the Joker footage, because they hyped his character up for the last like 2 years. And then, like, we don't get that much of him, and, like, apparently there's all these scenes with him. There's a scene with him with his face burnt in some of the trailers, which obviously happens, like, after the helicopter crash, which I want to see him pop back up. Like, I think that would have added more basically to the giant, how cool would it have been if Joker would have showed up for the ending fight, and then Harley Quinn had to choose between, like, him or the Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Or, dude, how cool would it have been if Joker like delivered the final blow to Enchantress? Like that would have been so crazy
Jesus
cool.
Christ.
I would have been like, fuck yes.
Dude, it's called the Suicide Squad. It's not called the Joker Squad.
I know. But there's this animated film called Batman Assault on Arkham, and it's really a Suicide Squad movie that has Batman and Joker in it. And as soon as they like announced this movie was coming out, and they announced the Joker was in it for some reason, I was like, are they gonna do just an adaptation of the animated film? Next time you come down, we'll watch it. It's violent and fun, and like it's pretty much a perfect movie.
All right. Yeah, I think just the plot points. I mean, obviously, I think the plot needed a little bit of work, but
Yeah, just
everything else,
just a lot.
yeah, just a lot. But yeah, on
But I think they
everything else,
focused on like,
I think
I
they
mean,
really,
I think they focused on just like the comedy and the fun and the characters and like the little moments we got. Like every little one liner that Will Smith said made me so happy. He was so
yeah,
funny. And Harley
and
Quinn calling people pussies.
I know,
It just
dude,
made me fucking
just
happy.
well, like you said, the characters made this film,
Yeah.
for sure. So, all right,
So
man.
I'm out of
Well,
beer, so I gotta cut this short because I don't know how much longer I'm gonna last.
oh, dude, that's funny. Your whole 2 years.
I mean,
We're gonna get drunk when I come
I
to
guess I
see.
could stop. Oh, of course.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll have a drunken conversation with David and Shawn.
Yeah, where we're gonna talk about Suicide Squad. Because this one
Don't
doesn't
worry.
count.
Yes, it
It
does.
wasn't even recorded.
Yeah, it was.
All right,
I know.
this has been a conversation with David and Shawn. I'm sorry in advance if I decided to keep in the half an hour conversation about Jungle Book before the show. All right, bye, buddy. Love you.
All right. Love you too, buddy. See ya.